I've been working with this program for about 3 years, and it's been a great way for my wife and I to kind of connect with the Gospels together. And it kind of kicked me off on getting me closer and more comfortable with reading the Bible on my own as well, when I kind of first became saved and started looking into the process. When I think about Jesus, I realize I'm reminded of what he did for us that led to our salvation, and it enhances my commitment and desire to want to get to know him better, and my whole family for that matter. I have 2 little children, and I'm relatively recently married, and it's a goal for me as the kind of leader of my family to try to help us all to get to know Jesus better, starting with myself, as I'm reminded of what Jesus has done for us. I want to get to know Jesus better because I think that as I get to know him better, I will reflect more of his character and thus be a better husband and a better father and a better person in general. And while I'll never be perfect or anything close to it, my aspirations are to try to be more and more like him. And I think getting to know him is the best chance, will give me the best chance at achieving those goals. What I like best about getting to know Jesus is that for people who are maybe recently saved and aren't as comfortable or with reading the Bible yet, or maybe a little more intimidated with reading the Bible, it's a very succinct, kind of easy way to get exposed to the Gospels, which are the most important. Well, the whole Bible is obviously important, but those are the most fundamental from our faith because they describe what life was like with Jesus on this earth and kind of break down the whole gift of salvation. And this Bible study is entirely geared toward exposing newcomers to Jesus and how he was while he was on this earth and what his messages meant. So it's a great place to start and familiarize yourself with the Bible. The Getting to Know Jesus Bible study for me has helped me to become more comfortable with reading the Bible and with reminding myself to talk to Jesus during the day, and just having him more present and being more aware of his presence when I make decisions, when I go through life, when I communicate with other people. It's just brought him more to the forefront in my life. I think the Getting to Know Jesus series is a great undertaking, as I said earlier, particularly for someone who's newer to Jesus and has recently saved, but now really wants the kind of meat and potatoes and to know who this individual was and what he did and what his role was while he was down here and what he means to us. And this is a real concise version of what his life was like down here on earth before he died for our sins. Well, I would say that the Getting to Know Jesus Bible studies are great if you're working on them by yourself, if you're working on them with your family, or if you're working on them with a Bible study at a group at a church, because they're about, each lesson is about 4 to 6 pages that breaks down different pieces of part of Jesus' life as told by the Gospels. And then there's questions for discussion that are great to do in a group and be able to hear other people's feedback. So it really lends itself to an individual study, or I think even more so to a group study where there's room for discussion and people at all levels of their faith can kind of exchange thoughts and feelings and concepts that are connected with these Gospels as told in the studies.